Please have your pencil and paper or your computer ready to take notes and to do the exercises. Hello everyone. In our last video, we learned about the production or the articulation of consonants in general, and then we focused on English consonants. When we describe English consonants, we have three features. First, we have voicing. Are the vocal cords vibrating or not? Place of articulation, where, and manner of articulation, how. Then we studied two manners of articulation related to English consonants. The first one was nasals, and the second one was fricatives. This week we have two more manners of articulation, stops or plosives, and affricates. We also have some guidelines for English word stress. Guidelines, not rules. When the palate is lowered, the air is free to escape through the nasal cavity and the nose, and we have nasals. There are three nasals in English: bilabial alveolar and velar When there's incomplete closure at some point in the mouth and the air is free to escape through a narrow channel, there's some audible friction because of the narrow opening. That's where we have fricatives, because of the narrow gap and the hissing sound that you hear in the 9 fricatives of English, f, v, th, z, sh, and h. The third manner of articulation that we have is where we block the air completely, we obstruct the flow of the air completely in the mouth and the nose, and then we build up a lot of pressure and suddenly release that air. So there's a little explosion that causes a sharp noise. So it's p, b, t, d, k, g, the plosives or the stops of English. Plosives and stops, unlike fricatives, cannot be said for a very long time. They are non-continuants. Our first plosive or stop in English is bilabial p.
This is a voiceless sound. You can hear it at the beginning of the words pack and pan, in the middle of the words copy and happen, and at the end of the word hop. Also at the beginning and end of the word pop. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. Pack, pan, copy, happen, hop, pop. Okay. For speakers of some languages, it may be difficult to tell the difference between this voiceless sound and its voiced partner, which you can hear at the beginning of the word back. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I shall say the word with the voiceless sound first. Pack, back, punch, bunch, pump, bump, pull, bull. Could you hear the difference? Now let's look at the difference. Watch the piece of paper. Pack, back, punch, bunch, pump, bump, pull, bull. Did you see the piece of paper moving? The big puff of air forces the paper to move, and you can feel that with your hand. Pack, back. Now you try. Let's go through the words again. Listen and repeat after me. Pack, back, punch, bunch, pump, bump, pull, bull. Okay.
The second English bilabial plosive or stop is bilabial b.
This is a voiced consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the words back and bag, in the middle of the words hobby and habit, at the end of the word job, and at the beginning and end of the word bob. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. Back, bag, hobby, habit, job, bob. Okay. For speakers of some languages, it may be difficult to tell the difference between this voiced sound and its voiceless partner, the one that you can hear at the beginning of the word pack. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I shall say the word with the voiced sound first. Back, pack, bear, pair, cab, cap, symbol, simple. Could you hear the difference? Now let's look at the difference. Watch this. Back, pack, bear, pair, cab, cap, symbol, simple. Look again. Back, pack. With the voiceless sound, there's a big puff of air. You can feel it with your hands. Back, pack. Now let's try the words again. Listen carefully and repeat. Back, pack, bear, pair, cab, cap, symbol, simple. Okay.
When we produce a stop or a plosive, we obstruct the flow of air out of the mouth and the nose completely. We compress the air and then suddenly release it. We open the closure. And that's where we have a stop or a plosive, which is the manner of articulation. Where this happens, where we block the air completely, is both lips because they are pressed together to say p and b. And the place where we stop the air is called the place of articulation or the point of articulation. So p and b are bilabial, produced by closing both lips completely and then opening them to release the air. Here's our first exercise. In one word in each group of words, the letter B or the letter P is not pronounced. It is silent. Circle the word. Example: double, doubt, Dublin. Which of these has a silent B? Doubt. Now pause the video and do the exercise. Now look at the different ways we can spell P in English and B. How then do we describe P and B in terms of voicing, place of articulation, and manner of articulation? P is a voiceless bilabial stop. B is a voiced bilabial stop, or plosive. The third English plosive or stop is T.
This is a voiceless consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word tin, in the middle of the word button, at the end of the word get, and at the beginning and end of the word tight. In English, we make this sound with the tongue behind the teeth here. Now let's try. Listen and repeat after me. Tin, button, get, tight. Okay. Now you may find it difficult to hear the difference between this voiceless sound that you can hear at the beginning of the word tin and its voiceless partner that you can hear at the beginning of the word din. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I shall say the word with the voiceless sound first. Tin, din, to, do, town, down, ate, aid, bet, bed. Did you hear the difference? Perhaps you can also see the difference. Watch this. Tin, din. Did you notice how the puff of air at the beginning of tin makes the paper move? Watch. Tin, din. Now let's practice these examples. Listen carefully and repeat. Tin, din, to, do, town, down, ate, aid, bet, bed. Okay.
The fourth English plosive or stop is d.
This is a voiced consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word dame, in the middle of the word ladder, at the end of the word odd, and at the beginning and end of the word did. In English, we make this sound with the tongue behind the teeth here. So let's practice. Listen and repeat. Dame, ladder, odd, did. Okay. You may find it difficult to hear the difference between this voiced sound that you hear at the beginning of the word dame and its voiceless partner that you hear at the beginning of the word tame. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I shall say the word with the voiced sound first. Dame, tame, doom, tomb, meddle, metal, herd, hurt. Did you hear the difference? You might be able to see the difference. Look. Dame, tame, dame, tame. In English, we say the sound at the beginning of the word tame with a big puff of air. Look. Dame, tame. Let's practice. Listen and repeat after me. Dame, tame, doom, tomb, meddle, metal, herd, hurt. Okay.
When we say t or d, we press the tongue blade against the alveolar ridge, block the air completely there, and then suddenly release it. So t and d are alveolar stops or alveolar plosives. Read the minimal pairs in the box. Build, built, wide, white, wade, wait, herd, hurt, down, town, dry, try, send, sent. Put the pairs of words in the box into the sentences below. Example. Last year, Tom, more than Sam, but now they have the same. That's right, wade and wait. Underline the word which does not have the sound t. Asked, castle, letter, and first. Which one has a silent T? Castle. When we describe English consonants, we mention voicing, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. So t is a voiceless alveolar plosive or stop, and d voiced, alveolar, plosive, or stop. When we say k or g, we press the tongue back against the velum or the soft palate, so the place of articulation is velar. We stop the air completely and release it suddenly, and that's what makes it a plosive or a stop. So k and g are velar plosives or velar stops. Stop or plosive number 5 in English is k.
This is a voiceless consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word came, in the middle of the word lucky, at the end of the word sick, and at the beginning and end of the word clock. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. Came, lucky, sick, clock. Okay.
Plosive or stop 6 in English is g.
This is a voiced consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word glue, in the middle of the word struggle, at the end of the word bag, and at the beginning and end of the word gig. Now you try. Listen and repeat. Glue, struggle, bag, gig. Okay. Now it may be difficult to tell the difference between this voiced sound that you hear at the beginning of the word glue and its voiceless partner that you hear at the beginning of the word clue. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I shall say the word with the voiced sound first. Glue, clue, ghost, coast, log, lock, pig, pick. Now, did you hear the difference? You might be able to see the difference. Watch. Glue, clue, glue, clue. Let's try again. Listen and repeat after me. Glue, clue, ghost, coast, log, lock, pig, pick. Okay.
Let's look at different ways we can spell the phoneme k in English, at the beginning of a word, in the middle, and at the end. Note that the letters QU spell qu, and the letter X spells ks. And also, in some words beginning with the letter K, the K is silent. The phoneme g is frequently spelt as G or double G, sometimes GH or GU. Also, the letter G can be silent. And note that the vowel sound is a bit longer before g than before k, in mineral pairs like bag and back. Here's a fun exercise. Read the following words. Either add the phoneme k to the beginning of the word or the phoneme g to the beginning of the word. Think of sounds, not spelling. For example, water. You add k plus water and you get quarter. 8. You add g and 8, you get gate. The sound is similar, but the spelling is completely different. Do the same thing for these words. When we say k or g, we block the air or stop it completely behind the velum. The tongue back is pressed against the velum, and we release it suddenly. So k is a voiceless velar plosive or stop, and g is a voiced velar plosive or stop. We have 6 plosives in English: bilabial p and b, alveolar t and d, and velar k and g. To produce a plosive or a stop, we block the air or obstruct it completely at some point. Pressure builds up, and then suddenly we release it. That's where you have plosives. We have 3 sets of plosives in English. When we say p and b, we block the air at the lips, pressing both lips together. So p and b are bilabial stops or bilabial plosives. For t and d, we obstruct the air at the alveolar ridge. So t and d are alveolar plosives or stops. To produce k and g, we make the obstruction at the velum or the soft palate. So k and g are velar plosives or velar stops. When we say the voiceless plosives p, t, or k at the beginning of a syllable or of a word in English, there's a puff of air or a burst of noise or audible plosion which we call aspiration. English p, t, and k at the beginning of a syllable are aspirated.
Pour, tea, car, pie, toe, care, to, key, tar, pay, bee, door, go, bear, do, gear, boy, dear, bow, day.
To produce a plosive, we block the air completely at some point in the mouth. There's pressure behind the closure, which we release suddenly, so we get the plosive or the stop. We have 6 plosives in English: the bilabial pair p and b, the alveolar pair t and d, and the velar pair k and g. Look at the examples. Here's a table of the English plosives or the English stops. We have 2 bilabial stops, p, which is voiceless, and b, which is voiced. 2 alveolar stops, voiceless t and voiced d, and 2 velar plosives, voiceless k and voiced g. And examples. We now know 3 manners of articulation related to English pronunciation. Nasals, m, n, fricatives, f, v, th, s, z, sh, zh, and h, and plosives, p, b, t, d, k, g. Now, the 4th manner of articulation in English is affricate. An affricate is a combination of a plosive and a fricative. We block the air completely, like we do for a plosive, but then we do not release it suddenly. Instead, we release it with some friction, like we do for a fricative. Examples of affricates are ch and j. We have only 2 affricates in English, ch and j, which are produced at the post-alveolar position. In English, we have 1 voiceless affricate, ch.
This is a voiceless consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word choke, in the middle of the word teacher, at the end of the word match, and at the beginning and end of the word church. Did you notice the shape of my mouth? Look. Church. Church. Now let's practice. Listen and repeat after me. Choke. Teacher. Match. Church. Okay. You may find it difficult to hear the difference between the voiceless sound that you hear at the beginning of the word choke and the voiced sound that you hear at the beginning of the word joke. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I'll say the word with the voiceless sound first. Choke, joke, chunk, junk, rich, ridge, lunch, lunge. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. Choke, joke, chunk, junk, lunch, lunge, rich, ridge. Okay.
Our voiced affricate in English is j.
This is a voiced consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word joke, in the middle of the word lodger, at the end of the word bridge, and at the beginning and end of the word judge. Did you notice the shape of my mouth? Judge. Judge. Now let's practice. Listen and repeat after me. Joke. Lodger. Bridge. Judge. Okay. You may find it difficult to hear the difference between the voiced sound that you hear at the beginning of the word joke and its voiceless partner that you hear at the beginning of the word choke. Listen carefully to hear the difference. For each example, I'll say the word with the voiced sound first. Joke, choke, junk, chunk, lunge, lunch, surge, search. Now you try. Listen and repeat. Joke, choke, junk, chunk, lunge, lunch, surge, search. Okay.
Here's how we spell ch and j at the beginning of a word, in the middle, and at the end. To produce an affricate, we block the air completely, and then we make a very narrow opening so the air escapes with some friction, and we get affricates. We have two affricates in English, which are post-alveolar ch and j. Ch is voiceless, and j is voiced. An affricate, then, is a combination of a plosive followed by a fricative. Here are our two post-alveolar affricates in English, ch and j. In RP English, we have 44 phonemes. 20 of them are vowels and 24 are consonants. The vowels are split into pure vowels and diphthongs. We will look at diphthongs next week. 20. We have done 9 fricatives, 6 plosives, 2 affricates, and 3 nasals, which leaves us with 4 more sounds that we will learn next week also: l, r, w, and y. 24 consonants, the RP consonants. Let's now move to part 2 of our video, Guidelines for English Word Stress. Do you know where the stress is for these words? Apartment, ballerina, camera, education, enter, father, guarantee, open, opportunity, palace, perhaps, police, receive, relation, relaxation. Is the stress on the first syllable, second syllable, or third syllable? Keep this exercise in mind and do it after we have finished the rest of the slides. Before we look at English word stress, guidelines for English word stress, let's remind ourselves what a syllable is. A syllable has one vowel sound, and remember we're talking about sounds, not letters, so the number of vowel letters is not the same as the number of vowel sounds. An important piece of information is that in English you can have up to 3 consonants before the vowel and between 1 to 4 consonants after the vowel. Read these words aloud. Yesterday, tomorrow, today. When we stress a syllable, we make it louder, longer, and higher. The rules for English word stress are quite complicated, and there are many exceptions. So what we have today are some guidelines to help us predict word stress. English words with stress on the first syllable. Dictionary, thousand, hundred, gossip, borough, neighbor, English, homeless, postman, childhood, handsome, palace, college, doctrine, famous, cashmere, effort, diphthong, alphabet, manifest, interest, crocodile, discipline, paradise, industry, catalogue, topical, gramophone, microphone, uniform, furniture, anecdote, attitude. Words with main stress on the second syllable: laboratory, sincere, hotel, canal, cigar, humane, romance, Chinese, supreme, severe, police, cadet, fatigue, courageous, chemise, polite, violin, exotic, dramatic, terrific, phonetics, authentic, electric, hygienic, despotic, historical, electrical, mechanical, statistical, romanticism, Catholicism, fanatically, society, condition, spontaneous, conspicuous, ambiguous. Words stressed on the third syllable: lemonade, guarantee, Portuguese, alphabetic, opportunity, nationality, uniformity, immortality, institution, introduction, relaxation, education, discontinuous, ambiguity, inconspicuous, intermediate, illegitimate, ballerina, economical, psychological, comprehensive, supernatural, disinfect, correspond. Words with main stress on the fourth syllable: communication, participation, insensibility, eligibility, sentimentality, manifestation, incapability, etymological. Here are pairs of words of 2 syllables. The main stress of the nouns is on the first syllable, the main stress of the verbs is on the second syllable. Abstract to abstract, accent to accent, affix to affix, annex to annex, compact to compact, concert to concert, conduct to conduct, confine to confine, conflict to conflict, contest to contest, contract to contract, contrast to contrast, convict to convict, desert to desert, digest to digest, escort to escort, essay to essay, exploit to exploit. More of those words: export to export, extract to extract, ferment to ferment, impact to impact, import to import, insert to insert, insult to insult, misprint to misprint, object to object, perfume to perfume, permit to permit, present to present, produce to produce, progress to progress, protest to protest, project to project, rebel to rebel, record to refund to refund, refuse to refuse, subject to subject, survey to survey, suspect to suspect, transfer to transfer, transport to transport. Now both the noun and verb in these noun-verb pairs are stressed on the second syllable. Police to police, report to report, result to result. The stress is on the second syllable for both the noun and the verb. Which of these pairs of words can you transcribe? Do what you can. Here now, as promised, are some guidelines for English word stress. We have two types of one-syllable words: content words and grammar words or function words. Content words are always stressed. Function words are usually unstressed, but not always. Content words are words like joy, sun, dawn, noon, feel, kick, cut, smile, work, true, red, ill, health, now, soon, then, thus. All of these are always stressed. Function words are words like the and a, he and her, and or but, be and do, may and will. So different grammar words or function words are usually unstressed, but not always. Content words are always stressed. Words with more than one syllable have stress on one of the syllables. First, two-syllable words. Nouns and adjectives are usually, but not always, stressed on the first syllable. Record, excellent, pencil, brother, butter, father, finger, glasses, mother, number, second, water, woman, famous, lovely, purple, yellow. Exceptions are exam, hotel, mistake, machine, police, awake, asleep, alone, stressed on the second syllable. Verbs are usually stressed on the second syllable in two-syllable words. Agree, achieve, arrive, complete, decide, enjoy, escape, explain, express, relax, repeat, return, accuse, record, debate, narrate. Exceptions, verbs with stress on the first syllable: cancel, copy, finish, answer, enter, offer, listen, happen, open. Some two-syllable pairs of nouns and verbs have stress on the same syllable. Answer to answer, picture to picture, promise to promise, reply to reply, travel to travel, visit to visit. Three-syllable words have stress usually on the second or the third syllable. Tomorrow, remember. Nouns ending in the suffixes ion, ian, tion, or iti are usually stressed on the syllable before that suffix. Education, decoration, communication, electrician, musician, relaxation, politician, examination, necessity, application. Verbs ending in ish are stressed also on the syllable before the suffix. Establish, embellish, publish. Adjectives ending in ic, ical, ous, ious, eous, or cious are also stressed on the syllable before the suffix. Atomic, economic, scientific, artistic, historic, historical, pompous, auspicious, courageous, precious. Adjectives ending in IVE or IBLE are also stressed on the syllable before the suffix, usually. Respective, terrible. Words ending with double E, double ER, ESE, ESQUE, or ETTE are usually stressed on that syllable. Employee, guarantee, referee, volunteer, mountaineer, Chinese, Portuguese, picturesque, cigarette, laundrette. But there is an exception, etiquette. There are other exceptions, of course. Negative prefixes attached to adjectives, for example, im or il, are not stressed. Possible, impossible. Literate, illiterate. Exception, nonsense, nobody, nothing, nowhere are stressed on the prefix. Compound words are usually stressed on the first word. Strawberry, earthquake, lovebird, blackboard, airport, Facebook. Exceptions, ice cream, New York, roast beef. Loan words or borrowed words may have more than one stress. In connected speech, we keep only one stress. When the word comes at the end of an utterance, it's stressed on the last syllable. Cigarette. Princess or princess. That's the end of our guideline. In English, words which are related morphologically don't always have the same stress pattern. A photograph, photographic, photographer, to photograph. Photography. But we also have begin, beginning, decide, decided, possible, impossible, sentence, sentences, interest, interesting, same stress pattern. Electric, electricity, pronounce, pronunciation, explain, explanation, America, American. Whenever you're learning a new word, it's a good idea to learn the stress pattern. Let's now practice word stress. First of all, classify the words as one-syllable, two-syllable, or three-syllable words, and then mark the stress on the stressed syllable. Attention, butter, accept, hold, present, present, referee, 70, triumph. Put the following words in the correct column according to their stress pattern. Economics, economy, physics, chemistry, geography, mathematics, sociology, history, geology, photography, nation, nationality. Economics is there for you. Now mark the stress in the following words which are related morphologically. Industry, industrial, industrialist, industrialize, invention, inventive, inventor, invent, competition, competitive, competitor, compete, criticism, critical, critic, criticize, politics, political, politician, politicize, nation, nationalistic, nationalist, nationalize, analysis, analytical, analyst, analyze. Write the English words. Can you read the transcription? Write the words with the correct spelling. For every English consonant, we describe three features: voicing, place or point of articulation, and manner of articulation. In our last video, we looked at nasals and fricatives. This video, we talked about plosives or stops and affricates, and next week, we look at the consonants l, r, y, w, and we look at the diphthongs. Bye-bye.